In the next four patterns, our focus turns to the knight and bishop battery. This pattern aligns well with the previous one, as most of the action takes place on the h1, a8 diagonal, as often seen in the Queen's Indian defense. Knight g5. This is common in the Queen's Indian defense. White wins material by simultaneously threatening checkmate on h7 and attacking the bishop on b7. Try to solve this. In this position, interposing the knight with knight e4 is a creative move, but it doesn't turn the tide. Following the capture of the bishop, it is now the rook on the h1, a8 diagonal that is left hanging. After bishop takes on g5, queen takes on a8. White is an exchange up. With the desperado knight takes on e2 with check, black regains a pawn for the exchange, although white still keeps the advantage after. White resigned after. Interestingly, a year after this game, another white player opted for the suboptimal bishop takes on g5 attacking the queen, giving black the opportunity to defend his bishop with queen on c8, and he is even a pawn up. Small details can sometimes make a world of difference. We will see this in the following two examples. Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, Speed Chess Championship 2023, Knight g5. Black again allows the tactic with knight g5, but the situation is slightly different than in the previous example. Try to solve this. Capturing on g5 is not advisable in this position, because after queen takes on g5, bishop takes on b7 costs black material. Knight takes on a2 still nets black an additional pawn, but it is not enough after bishop takes on a8. In this position, if rook takes on a2, we have if queen takes, can you find the best move in this position? Drop your answer in the comments. Knight e4. Where this defense was not good in the previous example, here it is the only move to stay in the game. Carlsen was not inclined to delve into complications in a blitz game. He opted for knight takes on e4. However, it is intriguing for us to observe the consequences of bishop takes on a4, which seemingly appears to net white and exchange after. Now, a crucial distinction with the previous game becomes clear. Where previously knight e4 proved inadequate, with the pawn on d7 instead of d6, black can play knight c6, queen b7, knight takes on d4, rook d1 in this position. Queen e4 instead of rook d1 fails after c5. With a slight move transposition, we are actually in the game UE Capablanca, Amsterdam, 1931. With a pawn for the exchange and pressure on white's position, black has good compensation. Game ended in a draw. Monica Socko, Alexandra Kostenyuk, Hawaiian Rapid Women, 2016. Here we see the main line of the Queen's Indian defense. This position has been featured in thousands of games, with the majority of players opting for the logical queen takes on c3. A smaller contingent favours b takes on c3, often in the hope of executing the tactic with knight g5 on the next turn. But wait, can't white play the knight jump right away? Knight g5. While this move was winning in the first example and good in the second, it fails here. In this position, black has an intermediate move knight takes on e2 with check. I promise to come back to this move in the first example. The white rook being on f1 instead of e1 makes all the difference. Now the queen is lured away from the b1 h7 diagonal, removing the checkmating threat on h7. The alternative king to h1 is not better, as black can exchange the light-squared bishops with the intermediate check, and after king takes, bishop takes on g5. Black is a piece and a pawn up. If queen h5, with an extra knight and pawn, black is completely winning. Let's attribute the failure to convert this advantageous position to the quick time control in this game by the former women's world champion. Familiarity with the basic pattern makes it easier to aim for it. Ivan Cheparinov, Simon Becker-Jensen, Croatia 2016. Bishop takes on f6. White removes the defender of h7 and clears the g5 square for the knight. Bishop takes, knight g5. The way ahead is now quite straightforward. Without the black knight on c3, white doesn't have to be concerned about various intermediate moves. After this game, another 15 players fell victim to this tactic, a trend that will likely continue. With an extra exchange, white easily won. Pattern 10. The carousel. In the previous pattern, the queen was necessary to make the tactic work. In this pattern, the knight and bishop are in no need of help. Not at all. By retreating the knight and moving it again to f7 afterwards, white exposes the black king to a discovered check and a direct check respectively, as the king is forced to oscillate between h8 and g8. In the ideal scenario, the knight repeatedly gains material by capturing black pieces along the way. In other cases, the carousel can also serve as a drawing weapon. Try to solve this funny puzzle. With the knight and bishop battery, we will alternately expose the enemy king to check and discovered check, as it is forced to move back and forth between two squares. In the ideal scenario, the knight repeatedly gains material. Allow yourself to be captivated by the carousel. We start with the ideal scenario. White is down a queen and rook, but eventually ends up a piece ahead. Knight takes g5 check. It is crucial to first eliminate black's defender of the f7 square. This allows the knight to repeatedly return to the f7 square, creating a knight and bishop battery to deliver repeated checks to the king and, in the process, capture more material. Patience is a virtue. White first goes for the rook and only then returns for the queen. Since black has nothing else but to move the king back and forth, there is no time to move away the queen. And that's where we'll stop for today. We'll continue exploring this powerful pattern in the next video. So stay tuned. If you're enjoying this series and want to keep learning these powerful chess patterns, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't miss the next part of Carousel. Thanks for watching, and remember, the more patterns you master, the fewer moves you'll need to win.